So my next guest is first of all a friend, and it's great to have a friend on the stage, but also he's a legend in his company. He has started in 1980 in a small airport of Cannes as a branch manager managing one person, washing the cars, parking them, signing the contract. Every time I rent a car at Hertz, and I say, I know Michel, he's a legend because he started at the branch and now he's a group president. My pleasure to welcome my friend Michel TARIDE on the stage. It's emotion to welcome a friend, you know. We'll talk about the evolution of an iconic brand over the years. Michel, the floor is yours. No, he's not ready, so.
Good morning. Merci, François. Thank you for these very nice words and introduction as we were fixing the microphone. Good morning, everyone. It's really great to be here and part of this wonderful event. And I have an opportunity which I'm going to try and capitalize on, which is to explain to you how Hertz, indeed an iconic brand, which is going to celebrate next year its 100 years of existence. I'll show you a bit about that in a second. It's propelling itself into this future to be at the very heart of this smart mobility revolution, which is taking place in front of us. Isn't that exciting? And a lot of what you said resonates, so I think we're going to complement each other very well. I would tell you, though, a lot talk about you got to transform, you got to disrupt, you got to change. Yes, we do, definitely. But actually what I'm going to try and show you is all that we have learned and built over the last 100 years is what's actually not going to kill us, but make us hopefully succeed in the future. Here we go. So 1918, this is when and how car rental was invented. Do you know which car it is? Too young, I guess, right? Can someone guess here? All right, I'll help. It's a Ford Model T. So that was in 1918, and there was a gentleman, one man, one city, one model. He had 12 of these Model Ts, and he realized that in the US, 30% of the American people had their driving license, and because they did so, they wanted to discover America. So he said, well, I'm going to rent these cars without a driver. That's how it all started, and it worked pretty well. To the point that after 5 years, he generated about $1 million of revenue of the time, and another gentleman called John Hertz came, bought what was actually a startup at the time, we didn't have the name, and he gave it his name, and here is why it is called Hertz. And over the last 100 years, Hertz never stopped innovating, because like in teleco, like in computers, if you stop innovating, you're being copied and overtaken. So we innovated a lot. It's quite amazing, I think, to think that in 1925, 7 years later, there was already a US coast-to-coast network because he invented another model, which is franchising. And then a lot came. I won't go through them all, obviously. I would tell you, though, at some point, technology started to play a role. As François said, when I started myself in 1980 in Cannes Airport in the south of France, I was serving customers. It was all manual. The most advanced tool we had was telex and microfiche. 7 years later, had the first computer. 3 years after, we went paperless globally. That was in 1990. 1997, we rolled out the first transactional website in our industry. And in 2008, we made our first inroads into, this time, smart mobility by launching car sharing. And we have today, as we speak, about 10,000 cars, in 10 countries, a few thousand cars. Not 10,000, a bit less. Today, Hertz is obviously more than a brand. It's actually a family of brands, as you can see. And we operate in a number of businesses, always car-related. Car rental, of course, but also car leasing, car sharing, car sales. We're the 4th largest car sales company in the United States. and adjacent businesses, accident support, and even an insurance. So as you can see, we built a lot of competencies. Once we built brands and competencies, we built, and it was altogether, a big network of more than 10,000 locations across 150 countries. And that's not even counting with our partners in Brazil, in China, and in Japan, big countries that in addition to. Of course, we have a workforce which we've trained, 50,000 associates, who serves every day millions of customers. See this, 130 million website visits per year. I can give you big numbers like this. And of course, we rent cars, so we run a fleet of more than 1 million vehicles, and this fleet drives 40 million miles each and every single day. So we have brands, we have infrastructure, we have people who know how to serve, we have fleet and data. Those ingredients, obviously, are going to be key in the future world. So what is this world about? The world which is being disrupted, this world of smart mobility. When it comes to car, I'm sure you all know, so I'll do this one quick. We call it CASE. CASE, that stands for Connected, Autonomous, Shared, Electric. That's where the world is going. That's an acronym that is being used, and everything converges towards it. At the heart of all this, and what's fueling really CASE, are these disruptive technologies and new capabilities. And you see them on the screen, starting with telematics, geofencing, and of course you don't want to be hacked, so you have cybersecurity. But then, even though François tells me he started with this in 1984, now we are in the world of big data and artificial intelligence and machine learning, so you can recreate the environment around you in milliseconds and then predict what's going to happen so that the autonomous cars can drive safely. That's where we're going. So what about Hertz in this case, this old dinosaur, in a way, legacy company that some of people think is going to die pretty soon? I hope not. We believe actually that we can take the center stage of this ecosystem, which is a word many people use, and we can do it 2 ways, 3 ways really. One is to remain an operator and then be a partner. Operator, still operating our own fleet in a way that is much better for the customer and much more efficient for the company. But we can also operate others' fleets. For example, in the US, ride-hailing companies, we already rent thousands of cars to Uber drivers. Uber doesn't want to have the assets. Amazon, if you go to the bottom, logistics companies, they have thousands of vans. Why would they have to take the burden of managing this if somebody can do it better, cheaper, and faster than them? We can do that for them too. OEMs, car manufacturers, they all want to go into mobility nowadays, so we can do that. At the same time, as you said, both of you, the later speakers, you have this smart city ecosystem which is building itself, which is going to integrate because everything gets connected. So we think that a consumer has a choice of different modes of transportation at some point, and we're going to be one of them, but we can aggregate some of these too. And of course, we're going to have to work with new industries which are also going to be disrupted, like parking, traffic management, insurance, you name it. So how do we get there? We, Hertz, I mean, and the car rental industry in general. Well, we're going to do this by doing 2 things in parallel. One, transforming the core and how we operate today, and that's going to help us build the future. And really, it's all about technology, but also people. And I'll put a little point on this one. Technology, we're doing a lot. We have a build and buy and try strategy. We are building as we speak. That's the kind of thing you do once in a generation. We are building our new platform, latest technology, state-of-the-art, in the cloud, global, scalable. And then we buy world-class applications to manage the various areas of the business. Customer relationship management with Salesforce.com. On the right-hand side, you see partner, and then we work with startups. We have a very close collaboration. We look at them, we help them, we mentor them. They teach us a lot. It's a very symbiotic relationship. We have Drive, an incubator, which is based in Israel, and that solely focuses on smart mobility, actually. So we look at different types of technologies there, telematics, data management, you know, because at some point you gotta do a lot of different things including predicting demand based on external factors and internal issues. But technology is a piece of it. You see, we see that technology will perform the transaction. Today it's not very funny to rent a car, quite frankly. We should do that seamless in the future. And the technology takes care of the transaction, the people take care of the customers. So we want this to be good to our staff, not detrimental to them. So we are actually training them, upgrading talent, and bringing them new service skills and selling skills as well. So to conclude, this is how the road ahead looks like. And that's really the next 3 to, who knows, 5, 7 years. I mean, it's continuous, right? The first step is through this new technology to be able to deliver to any customer in the world a fully digital experience on the app. From shopping to booking, picking up and opening the car, in-car experience, infotainment, returning the car, and post-sale. Through it, end-to-end. Once we do this, at the same time, as we do this, we build those new fleet management capabilities that we can operate our fleet in a way that is much more efficient. The connected car is a game changer because you know at any point in time, where is the car, how much miles, how much fuel. If there was an accident, you can recreate the accident, and so on. And we can do that for our own fleet and for others' fleets. And then, once we do that, we're going to be ready for the world of autonomous cars. And we are already talking to companies who work on autonomous cars. So that's where the world is going. And the autonomous cars, as you guys said, are only a piece, an important piece of what is the smart city of tomorrow, where we intend to be an important player. And, well, look, that's certainly the vision. It's iterative because you learn as you go. And as we've done in the last 100 years, we embrace change. We like change. It's tough, though, you said that. But we embrace change, try to take our people on board so that we transform. And hopefully, when we come back in 100 years at an EDAT conference, we'll still be seen as a leader. Thank you.
Thank you,
very
Michel.
much, Michel. You can actually join François for a quick conversation together.
Yeah. Thank you, Michel, because there is very interesting things for us. First of all, you belong to an iconic brand. We all know the yellow icons. And as a veteran, by the way, I've started in 1977, so I'm older than you in technology, not 1984, my first computer. What's amazing also is during 90 years, I would say it was in the mobility business. The last 10 years, it was smart mobility. I'd like to understand, what was your reaction as a group CEO of Hertz International when you saw the new kids on the block, Drivey, BlaBlaCar, or the BMW Drive Now, or Free to Move to PSA, or Uber? Have you thought it was something new or a trend, or when have you taken them seriously, and what was your reaction, as a leader of the company?
It's three quick ones. One, we said the world is changing and we're moving to ownership to usage and to shared usage case, as we said. And we said, actually, that's really good because for businesses like us, it's a future. On the other hand, these guys are young, smart, quick. They don't have all the legacy, all the bureaucracy. They're not a dinosaur. They move pretty quick. So we'd better change fast. So that's the first reaction. Then the second reaction is to say, you know what? Actually, car rental is mobility. If you define car rental by the use of an asset for a period of time, we're in that space too. So the question then is, why do they exist? Why can't we do what they do? And I think we will be doing what they do. Actually, not really. I'll come back to that. So the first reaction was to say the world's changing, and there are a number of catalysts for that. Congestion, pollution, what we heard already. So I think we have a chance this time because governments and municipalities are almost forcing it. The digital disruption accelerates everything. The millennials have a very different mindset than you and I, when trying to understand them, but they don't want to own, they want to use, they want to share, they want to work for companies where they feel empowered with a sense of purpose, say, well, that's where we need to take Hertz. So then we see a lot of companies coming to the place. So you see car manufacturers who say, am I going to sell cars tomorrow? Should not I be into mobility? You see SNCF, you see partner with BlaBlaCar and so forth. So in the end, increased competition, increased momentum, and for us, we are saying this. We say, number one, the travel business will not go away and will continue to grow. It's 10% of global GDP and it's growing, even with all what's happening in the world, and we should be the best at that. But coming to urban mobility, as we transform the technology, and as that technology enables us to transform our experience and partner with all these players that you've been mentioning, then we think that the future is about collaboration, a lot of competition, clearly, but a lot of collaboration together, public, private, corporation, startups, different, and I think that's quite fascinating because we talk about collaborative economy that really applies to that revolution. So we're excited about it.
Last quick question in the interval of time. We're talking about big bets. So where are you going to invest? Are you going to invest in the cloud, or are you going to invest in the cars? Are you going to invest in your infrastructure? Because there is plenty of opportunities for you. In 1 minute.
Sure. 1 minute, we're going to continue to invest in our cars because that's our core competency. We should do it and not stop it, and we can do it for others. The shift of investment comes from brick and mortar network to the technology, because through technology, through partnerships, we can create a virtual network. In the world of autonomous cars, we can go where the customer is, and therefore, we're going to be in a world where it's on demand, wherever you want, anytime, anywhere, 24/7, seamless self-service. Kind of a dream.
So in 5 years from now, when I arrive at the airport, I will have my icon Hertz.
Yes.
And they will, you guys will offer us.
The car will be there. You will enroll into a program, and we do this already in Brazil. You take a selfie. You're going to go in front of the car. You take another selfie, and we match those two and say, yeah, that's through Francois. You can now open the door of the car, and you go away.
Wow.
And when you come back, we're going to welcome you and tell you thank you. And by the way, would you like to buy this car? Since we sell cars, right? All of this on an app. That's one thing. And when you're in the smart city, we're going to have, hopefully on an app, you can have a car rental, a car share, but maybe also a bus, public transport, Uber, and it could be a Hertz car driven by an Uber driver. That's kind of how we see the world. So we think big. It might not be as big as that, but fighting to win.
Okay, thank you very much, Michel.
Thank you.
Thank you
and
so
great to
much.
have you.
Merci.